It's great to have you here today. And you worked with me a few years ago. So
3 years, yeah.
3 years, wow.
Yeah.
So you've done some awesome things since we met. So today I appreciate you coming on and sharing your story.
Yeah. So I think we worked together on several things. I think I've had you as a personal coach one-to-one, and I also did a bit of group stuff with you as well. And I think both have had different benefits, but I'm really pleased that I got the opportunity to do both of them with you, because you helped me so much. I don't even know where to begin to say how much it's helped me having you as a coach and what you've done for me.
Thanks, Jo. So tell me a little bit about where you were before you reached out to me. What was going on?
Before I reached out to you, I'd had a bit of a journey through my life, but I got to a point where I really knew there was more. I felt like there was more to me and there was more to what I was doing, and I was just super stuck. I kept feeling like I would go so far and then I just couldn't push myself to go any further. And I didn't know what it was, and I couldn't figure out what it was that was holding me back. So before I met you and before I did coaching with you, I was super stuck, and you've really helped me to get through that. So that's great.
Yeah, I do remember some of the stuckness. I think there was quite a bit of procrastinating and a lot of self-doubt from what I remember. Yeah. So when you took that brave and bold step, and I always honor that, and reached out and we decided to work together, what successes did you have along the way?
Oh my goodness, so many. I think the ultimate one is the confidence that I've got within myself, and the belief that I now know that I can actually do, not just like a fake belief, but a deep belief that I can do anything that I set my mind to. And I don't know, so many things have happened. I've managed to, I was working in a job role, but I actually managed to push myself into different secondments within my job role that I never would have pushed myself into before. And I really managed to push myself outside of my comfort zone. And I think all of the techniques, and also like I said, with the group coaching as well, it's really good because you realize it's not just you're not the only person that gets stuck or has these things. So yeah, I've just managed to go from strength to strength to strength career-wise, and I'm now actually just starting another secondment within my job, doing something completely outside of my comfort zone. But it's so good because I know that once I learn it and I get going with it, that I'm gonna just grow even more. So much growth.
And it's so wonderful to see, because I do remember you had a little bit of anxiety, quite a lot of doubt, and you had some, we won't go down that one, but you had some past memories and past experiences that were almost stuck and playing over and over, weren't they? Which we So I can't remember what the technique was called, but we did Mandy, you helped me with a reoccurring memory that I was having. It was a real memory, not just like something I had, but it was from when I was a child. And it was a memory of me not being able to do something. And it was a very, very, very strong memory. And every time I got stuck, it would pop up. So I kind of asked you, this thing keeps popping up. And so you came out with this technique. We worked through it together, and it was so good because from that point on, it's like I don't even remember that memory in that way. And I don't feel the feeling that I got every time I had that memory. So I don't even really have the memory anymore. I know what it is. I know the situation, but it's not attached with this deep, strong feeling of stuckness. Yeah, and that's great. And it very briefly, when we have experience in our life with an emotion, they get almost stuck in our neurology like a big energy block, and we keep taking it with us in life, and when it gets triggered, it replays. So the technique I did is based on one to literally clean out the energy and the memory, the emotion from your neurology and free you up from it. So
amazing. It was really amazing. Yeah, I'll be forever grateful. I didn't even know that memory was a thing until we started working together, and then it came up. And then I realized how stuck I was with it. So yeah.
And I do remember that before we met, you were a little bit haphazard in your morning routines and your pens, as I call them. So what's a couple that you've taken out, whether you're still doing them, but that were helpful for you along the way? I know you did.
I love the technique that you gave us about the bookends. So not just like starting your day, but also like finishing your day with a good intention. So I always set an intention it's always just before I go to bed. So it's kind of the first thing I think about in the morning as well. And I always set an intention for what I'm going to do the next day, because I think before I met you and worked with you, I wasn't very organized, and I didn't know how to set my time. And I had a really big issue. So it just popped up with time as well, which you helped me through as well, because I seem to sort of float around in my mind quite a lot and like, not get on with things. And like you said, I was a procrastinator. So it's really helped me. You gave me one, you helped me come up with a sentence that's really helped me, which was, if this was a Jo that appreciated her time, is this how she'd be spending it? So it's a question, and it comes up all the time. I might be in the shower, just sort of la la la, having a little bit of a wash. And then I'm like, is this how Jo wants to spend her time? No, this isn't. I've got things to do. And it really does help me. It's kind of like a little jolt. And then I go, oh, it's like, oh yeah, where am I? And I can get on with all the things that I've planned to do. So yeah, I love the bookends. I love, taking a few moments in the morning to really stop, think about what I'm doing, maybe add some more things, and at nighttime setting my attention for the next day.
Yeah, which is great. Now there's one massive result that you got that was way back when we started. It was a little dream or a little goal of yours.
Yeah.
You now, I believe, have done it. So just share a bit about that.
So when I first met Mandy, I really wanted to figure out what I felt like there was something I should do. And I realized that I really love speaking. And when I talk about mindset, I really get very passionate about it. So to me, that was a big indicator that that's something I should be doing, or not should be, wanted to do. And I really wanted to start a podcast, but there were so many hurdles and blocks and things in the way that I just couldn't do it. So since I started working with Mandy, I actually managed to figure out a way to get past all of those blocks with the help of Mandy. And I've started a podcast, and it's called the Powered by Mind podcast. And I'm now up to I'm working on episode 12 at the moment, but I have a book of ideas. And my main thing was that I wanted to do it myself, like figure it all out, because I'm not doing it. I haven't got a business. I'm not promoting a company, or I'm not making any money out of it. It was just something I really wanted to do, but there was so many things in the way. And so Mandy's really helped me with that. And I've started my podcast, and it's just so good. I just love it so much. And I never would have done it without working with you at all. So yeah, I'll always be grateful for that.
And it's so great that you've done it. I've listened to a few of them, and you do a great job, Jo. So tell me, now that you've launched your podcast, you've stepped up for another role in the job that you're in. How do you feel now? Like, what's shifted for you overall?
I honestly feel like a weight has been lifted off me, and not just like a feeling weight, just a weight where I really do feel quite light. Like I know that if there's something that I want to do, I can go ahead and do it. And I know that, it doesn't matter whether it works out or not. At least I've had a go with it. And one of the biggest things I took away from you was, especially with the podcast and like doing all these different job roles, was that version 1 is better than version none. So that's another thing that will always stick with me. Just start doing something, because I never really knew what I wanted to do, and I do like variety. So I would get very stuck because I wasn't quite sure, so I wouldn't know where to go. And now I know I just need to take action. And I feel like the podcasting will take me somewhere in the end. I do feel like that's the direction that I'm going in. I really do enjoy that. But yeah, I'm a bit more web-based now from what I was, a bit more admin and customer service, but I've sort of changing my directions to a bit more web-based work, which is really good. So really the world is my oyster. That's how I feel.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I know it'll take you to some new territory at some stage. And I guess the other thing, which we didn't mention earlier, but you have a family, you have children, and has it been of benefit for you to share any of the tools and techniques with your children?
So much so. And I think also that was something else you helped me with the children, because I felt very torn between my time with things, and maybe a little bit guilty about pursuing the things that I wanted to do, because as a mum, and you're working and you're trying to do all these different things. Because I think at the time I was quite heavy into my master's gymnastics, and I wanted to do my mindset stuff, and I was really feeling a bit torn with my time. So you really helped me with that as well. But I use all of these techniques that I've learned from you with my children because they're all very relatable. And I love, like, my children, like, they listen to podcasts and stuff with me. They know I'm into mindset, but when I see them with their friends, and sometimes I've heard them repeat some of the things that maybe that I've talked to them about that I learned from you, and then I hear them, it's amazing, because I'm like, just slowly they are, you know how Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in the world. Well, I'm the change I want to see in my household, and where I grow, they grow without me even trying to teach them, because they're just absorbing everything they see and everything they hear. So it's just been, yeah, I having a coach has just been one of the best things that has ever happened to me. And I can't believe it took me so long to do it. And I found a great one, like one of the best. So,
and I think, though, one of my greatest joys I get is when either the parents I work with teach their children, because they're our future, and that just warms my heart. And I do have a few young athletes I'm working with, which is just wonderful to help them with their mindset at that young age, because where they go with their sports career, it will absolutely help them in every area of our life. And, you know, we need more Joes, I think, that step up and be the change they want to see.
Well, because when it rubs off on your children, as they don't get taught, they get taught a little bit of growth mindset stuff in schools, but it's not really that based. So it is really important for those. It's so good what you're doing, helping like younger athletes, and because their mind is that they're at that stage where it's so pliable. If they can get I'm quite passionate about this as well. If they can get their mindset right now, they're not going to spend years in the future when adversities hit, like seeing a psychologist trying to fix things. They already have the tools, and they're going to have, you know, ups and downs in their lives, and you're going to hit road bumps, and you're going to have times where things aren't going to be so great. And that's okay, because you have to work through those things. But as a child, they have the tools to get through it and move and keep going without being stuck for too long.
Yeah. Well, good. You know, I applaud you for stepping up and taking that initial step, and the fact that you're sharing this with your children. You've fulfilled one of your goals, and I know there'll be so much more to your story. So one day when the next chapter opens up, we'll definitely have you back. So finally, what would you say to somebody who was stuck like you were and wasting time? What would you say?
I've spent a lot of time reading self-help books and listening to either podcasts or, you know, people talking and going to seminars, and that's great, but you can only go so far with that. Sometimes you do need to step out. So you need someone to help you step outside of your jar to look in, because you don't always know the things that you need to do. And sometimes, like, having a coach is amazing, because you can always see the things that person needs doing. You're not necessarily, I don't think you ever told me to do something, but you guided me so I could go, oh, that's what I need to do. And so if you're thinking about having a coach, stop thinking about just go and find one. Don't even go and find one. Use Mandy, because she's absolutely incredible. And I 100%, I can't even tell you how amazing it's been to have a coach like Mandy, because she's just, oh, I don't know, you just know everything, you know what to do straight away. I've never had an awkward moment with you where you never knew what to say, or you didn't have the right you've got so many tools in your belt. You're like, something comes up, you're like, yep, I've got something for that, and let's try this. And it's just, oh wow, okay, let's try that, and then work with you. And then it just, I don't know, you just manage to not fix it, but you manage to have everything that you need to help somebody get to where they want to be. So yeah, don't think about having a coach. Sign up. Sign up, do it. It's the best thing you'll ever do for yourself, because you'll never get as far ahead as you do with a coach. 100%.
Cool. Thank you, Jo. I appreciate that. And it's been awesome working with you, and we kept in touch as I do with many clients. And I know, as I said earlier, there'll be another chapter of this. So thank you so much for taking the time to share your journey. My hope is that it inspires somebody else to get unstuck and take action, whether it's with me or someone else. And I wish you all the very best for whatever's your next chapter, the new job, and continuing success with your awesome podcast. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Mandy. Thank you. I wouldn't have been able to do it without you. So yeah, thank you so much.
Pleasure. bye.